Up next we have Nichols from Dad Labs. Can you join us?
Thanks a lot. This presentation comes with apologies to the non-greeters in the audience. Sorry guys. Hold tight, it's just 5 minutes. Before Dad Labs I was a teacher. I was in the classroom for about 12 years, and that imbued in me two things. One was a deep interest in the way that kids and technology interact, also families and technology, and also, well, a really embarrassing, humiliating love of pop music. This is me listening to Katy Perry, I think. This is a love that I pass on to my kids. I'm really glad that they love music, and it makes me really happy that in this country, by law, all MP3 players are governed at producing 80 decibels. This protects their delicate, oh wait, that's Europe. Here in the good old US of A, iPods produce 105 decibels, which is really awesome if you want to rock out, but not so great if you're a small child. But this is actually a linear scale. It's actually it's a logarithmic scale, so it's actually much worse than that. So if you take that iPod, you hook it up to those new Dre Beats you bought your kid for Christmas, and you crank up the volume on the latest offering from America's sketchiest corporate spokesman, you can start doing permanent hearing damage in just 6 minutes. That's 2 songs if you want to call them that. Yes, Chrysler will make your kids deaf. 6 minutes of permanent hearing damage. But iPods, iPads, iPhones all have a feature called a volume limiter. Did you know that? Go to Settings, Music, Volume Limiter, set the slide to 80%, enter a passcode, and confirm it, and you've protected your kid's hearing. It's very easy. I also love videos, and I love that my kids love videos. That's why I love that this country has the MPAA system that helps me decide what is or isn't appropriate for my kids to watch. It's a wonderful system, and it helps me keep my kids safe. But what's YouTube rated? Do the exercise for yourself. What would you rate it? I know what you won't rate it, because I've asked this question to over 100 parents, and nobody has ever said G. But based on the dollars that we spend, you would think that it is the priority of every family in America to make sure that their kids have access to YouTube every second of the day. Think about it. Phones, tablets, computers, game systems now, DVD players, even the televisions themselves are constantly streaming the Google spawn right into your living room. Where will it stop? And should it stop? I mean, think about it. I mean, there's no more powerful tool when you're talking about it as a teacher or a parent than video. It captures kids' imaginations. Watching video, interacting with it, creating it, especially creating it. Want to see a volcano? Boom, there it is. Just don't put eruptions in the search tab. That's why I say we should rate YouTube R. Rate it R. And therefore, put it in a fixed place on only devices that don't move. Put it behind a passcode. I tell that to parents and they freak out. They say, oh, the kids know the technology better than me. What area of parenting do we say this about? Food? Because they're more hungry than us? They know more about nutrition? Really? Sex? Just because a teenager is having more sex doesn't mean they're smart about it. What other area would we relinquish our parental control, our obligation to supervise our kids? We wouldn't do it with nutrition or sex. But so many parents do it with technology. And this is the greatest challenge of the parents of my generation, I think. We have to understand this stuff. Okay, I love technology, but I believe in censorship. If I had a kid in the 17th century, I wouldn't keep him out of the woods because I know there's predators there. I would prepare for them to be safe there. And the geeks have done such a great job. They put thousands of hours into engineering parental controls that are so good and user-friendly and great to use. We have to learn how to use parental controls. Not the parental controls are the end-all and be-all. It just creates a safe space where we can talk with our kids about important things, about what is or isn't appropriate, what's honest, what our values are, what's legal. Remember this? It's easy. Parental controls are so simple. And I think that the volume limiter on these iDevices is a great example. It's not very hard. It never takes more than 5 minutes and I've looked at all the parental controls of all these devices. To disarm them takes less than 5 minutes. Less than it'll take me to do this speech. Spend some time, it's time well worth it. Go and check out the parental controls on all the devices that were in your children's reach and use them. So if I could ignite you to do a couple of things, would be put a volume limiter on your kid's MP3 player. It's very simple. Rate YouTube YouTube are and act that way. Use the parental controls in order to regulate your children's interaction with it. A final thought, research has shown that kids that have limits put on their media consumption, even that's never enforced, will watch less media than kids that have no controls at all. Please check out dadlabs.com. Follow me, Daddy Clay. I'm on Twitter. Thank you for your patience, especially those of you who are not parents.